Welcome to the Floss. My name is Gabe Gary, and on this episode, we have veteran Cleveland comic and tour guide on the Funny Bus, Bryan Sternik.
Hello, Gabe. Long time no talk.
Has it been a long time? A couple
Yeah,
days.
It's been a few days.
Maybe a week.
He texted, I think, once recently.
Yeah, I sent you a picture of I photoshopped your head onto a picture of Allen Iverson.
It's fucking hilarious.
You know why I did that?
No. Oh, because I said practice.
Yeah, that night at
time.
LVT, you were like, "This is practice." You said practice like 10 times.
I know. I said it Honestly, I said it exactly 26 times. Because I think Iverson said it 25 or 26. I wanted to tie him or beat him, but
there's a half in there. He's like Pratt. He's like, we're talking about Pratt.
There is a half.
There's a half in there.
There's only one half, right? There's not like two halves.
Well, two halves would just be no halves.
A full. Yeah. But then you cut that in half from the original because if you said practice and they counted as two fulls, then it's technically one.
Yeah, but if so let's say he's at like 24 and he says Pratt. That's a half of practice. And then later on in the clip, he says Pratt again. That's another half of practice.
So that's
but
one
those
full
two
practice.
halves together don't make practice. That makes Pratt.
Yeah.
So if you have two halves of practice, you don't have a whole practice.
So if he said Pratt first and then he said he's like, yeah, that's Tiss. So then that'd be
that would be a full practice.
But Pratt, that's not. It's not a full practice. And you can't add those two halves. It's just still two halves. Maybe they're two quarters and equal a half.
This is a quick little life lesson at the top of the episode. You can't half-ass stuff.
Yeah. Not on the floss.
Not on the flaws. But if you have basketball practice, okay, the first half is warm-up, drills, second half is scrimmage. If you just warm up in drills and then warm up in drills, you just have two halves of practice. You don't have a complete practice.
No.
You got to do the beginning and the end.
That's not how halves work like that. It's not just one, half plus half equals one. It needs to be the front half and the back half to equal one. That's what you're saying.
But if I drink the first half of this beer and then drink the first half of this beer,
that's a full.
Then I have drank a full beer. So what's the difference?
It's context.
The context of the bottle?
Yes, it's the context of instead of saying pra, you never said a tiss.
The beer at the bottom is the same as the beer at the top.
No, it's the beer on top is better than the beer on the bottom because the bottom's like backwash. So you're actually probably getting a better beer drinking two halves up front. Some people even say right over here. Some people would say right over here is
they throw
backwash.
It out.
I get weirded out. I'm like, yo, dude, you hate your own spit that much?
Yeah. We had a friend in college who his whole thing, I don't know if he liked it or not, but he did it with a smile on his face. He drank all the Woundeds.
What's a Wounded?
Like when you wake up the morning after a party, all the half-drink cans of beer.
Those are called Woundeds?
Wounded soldiers.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's such a white person thing.
Yeah. And so, dude, we went to Myrtle Beach one week for spring break one year.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the Weston pitcher. And every morning, because we would clean the house every morning so we could trash it again. So every morning we would wake up and we would pour all the Woundeds into this pitcher. And that was Weston's drink for the day.
That is disgusting.
With a smile on his face. Yeah.
This was in college again?
Yeah.
At college, I never lived in a college. I went to community college, so
yeah.
I always knew that I had friends that went to college that had a weird fucking friend. That's one of those weird friends. He was everyone probably loved him because he was like, man, it's Weston, gonna do Weston things.
Here's the most normal guy out of any of us. He's a good Indiana boy, corn-fed, played football.
Until you put beer into him.
And then he just becomes, dude. He hasn't worked out in 6 years. He's still built like a fucking.
What was
wall.
his drink name? Did he have a drunk name? Did you guys call him Drunk Weston or?
No, sometimes we called him Weastonson. I don't know why.
And he would would he do oh, I'm Weastonson? Would he do an Irish accent or something?
No, he wasn't much of a talker until he drank.
Then he was annoying as fuck.
Sometimes
in a good way.
Yeah. He drank all the Woundeds. All right, Bryan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the good people?
Okay. Hey, guys. I am, I don't know if I got the camera.
You can do whatever you want.
Cameras are down.
Well, the screens are off.
Okay.
But they're still recording.
Well, I'm Bryan Sternik. I've been doing comedy for around 5 years. I do the Cleveland Funny Bus. I run some shows in Cleveland. One Secret Society one happens every Saturday, 11:30, when you shouldn't be starting a comedy show, but that's what we do. And
Sells
it's been
out
very well.
every weekend. Sells out.
Yeah, we have ones that don't sell out, but even those ones, I don't know one show that has been horrible.
I would say
we don't have horrible shows.
I would say any of the shows that haven't sold out is just because the room is huge.
Yeah,
there's just so many. It's like there's still a good amount of people.
We
there.
always get a good audience. Even like, you know, I'm not downplaying, or it's not like negative press saying like, I mean, it's nice weather out. Like there will be some shows where you don't have a huge audience, but I mean, I think the difference is it doesn't matter how big or small the audience is, as long as the people there are having fun, and I think people do.
And they're almost always drunk. Like drunk enough to have a good time. And what else is there to do in Cleveland at 11:30? No, you can't even get food downtown after like 10 o'clock on
bullshit.
a weekday. Like not even the fucking Taco Bell's open.
That's why Cleveland will never be like New York or Los Angeles. They have like nightlives. You could still do a bunch of shit at night. Here you can't do as much stuff. You're limited.
Anything.
You're limited.
Literally
even on
food. I'm not even asking for activities. Like I'm just talking food after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You can't do it. But I mean, is that on the city or is that like on the people? The people don't do a fucking anything. But that's because there's nothing.
It's like the culture, I'd say.
We're also, I mean, dude, we are extremely small. But hey, once global warming hits and shit becomes unlivable, we're on fresh water, dude. We are on fresh.
We're gonna
water.
survive. The Midwest is gonna survive.
We're one of the safest places.
The apocalypse.
But our lakefront is so underutilized. We could have a boardwalk. We could have a fucking Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're gonna get this episode started.
You
Bryan,
said that like 4 times. Oh, because it's different.
well, I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
To start the interview.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's a good habit of yours?
Good habit. I'm good at expressing gratitude. Like I'm very happy. Like if I'm thankful towards someone, I'll be like, "Hey, I thank you," and I'm not just saying it. Like I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it brings joy. I just like it when someone helps me out on anything because I like helping other people out too. So it's nice to. I think I'm very good at appreciating people for doing good things with me or around me.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Well, I would agree on a multiple fronts. I would agree. You are a very gracious person, and you do like helping people out. But outside of just like you individually, just the very act of being thankful and just having a positive mindset, you know, let's build a community. Let's help each other out. Let's just be friendly to each other.
Yeah.
It comes back to you. Like, I couldn't remember the last time I saw you in a bad mood.
Even when I am in a bad mood, it's not anyone else. I try to like keep it inside. I bottle it and I'll deal with it by myself because no one else needs to. I don't like people getting bad moods and like the world needs to like pity you. I hate it when people are just like, I'm mad. Everyone needs to know I'm mad.
Yeah.
So then they can pity me and I am a victim. It's like, nah, fuck that. Like I get in bad moods all the time and I get depressed and shit.
Right.
I just don't deal with that in public.
Yeah, why'd you leave the house then?
Yeah, I don't do even when I deal with it, I'm still dealing with it privately in public.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, I don't need to express that. I can maybe talk to someone about it if I really feel the need. But if I need to deal with that, that's a me problem I need to deal with. I'm not going to put the pressure on other people to deal with that.
Yeah, especially when like I've like in my very early adult life. And I mean, are you even 30?
No, I'm 27.
No. Yeah, you're also pretty early on in your adult life. It's like there are very few people that it's actually like a good idea to like dump on them. Not even like good like keep it small. Like one or two people very few people need to know about your personal problems.
Yes. The world doesn't need to know.
No. And it's not like a fuck you, your problems aren't important. It's like we all have a couple problems that we're dealing with, but we've left the house. We're in the same spot. Why not put a little bit of effort into having an enjoyable time?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, it's also a thing to where I think I realized it early on. I used to be too much of an open book.
Okay.
And then, but the thing is, when I would express how I was feeling about the world, like to other people. Mainly, it wasn't even doing comedy. It was before I did comedy. Everyone always has something stupid to say about your problems.
Sure.
So when I was like 22, I used to confide in fucking strangers pretty much.
Oh,
like I would confide with people I wasn't close with. And they would always be like, you're being a kind of a pussy.
Yeah.
Or they'd be like, that's a stupid problem. And it was like, this was like 2016 when like,
everything was perfect.
When it was the best time. But I was like, fucking like 22.
Summer 2016.
Summer 2016, the best year.
Yeah.
But no, I'd be like, I was just a 22-year-old aggravated with the world.
Yeah.
I was always nice, but I would confide in people. Maybe I shouldn't have. And they'd always be like, that's stupid. You're being an idiot. And then they would mock a little bit. But just when you confide in the wrong people, that's what's going to happen.
The strangers would mock you, or your friends would mock you for confiding to strangers?
I thought, no, my friends would mock me, who I thought were friends. But I was like, no, I just get drunk with them at college parties, or I just work with them. Yeah. You know, they weren't like real friends. They were just like acquaintances that I spend a lot of time with.
Yeah.
But when you confide in the wrong people, you know about that. Like when you confide in the wrong people, they're gonna fucking. They're not doing it like negatively, like trying to be an asshole, but they will say shitty things to you. They won't have any consequences. They'll just be like, yeah, no, fuck that. That's stupid. You're an idiot. And I'd be like, oh, and they'd just be like, yep, I'm going to go get drunk at 3 p.m. That's what I'm going to do. And I was like, okay. Probably I shouldn't have confided in Josh over there. He's wild.
Yeah, he'll tell the bartender anything for a free margarita.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted here because I'm with, like, I do my best to, have a positive energy when I leave the house. It's not that things don't bother me. It's just like, like I said, put an effort into having a good time. So I try not to like burden people with stuff. Not that I feel it would even be a burden. It's just like, a waste of time. Like nothing this person is can do is gonna fix my problem. So like why waste the 3 hours we have together talking about it?
You're the only one that's gonna fix that problem.
But at the same time, if I'm at a bar and there's like a drunk bastard next to me down on his luck and he turns to me and he starts spilling his problems on me, it's kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
It's nice to be the shoulder to be leaned on.
It is nice to be the shoulder, like when you're not doing anything else.
Yeah.
And like I'll ask questions. I was like, well, what'd your old lady do to you?
But you need to be alone when you do that. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm with my girlfriend, I'm not gonna have some stranger confide in me. If I'm just alone hanging out and some dude's like, I'm like, hey man, you looking for a friend? What's going on?
Yeah.
If I'm with my girlfriend, she's like, oh, you're doing it again. And I was, sorry, I'm a decent human being. I'm so sorry.
Has anybody ever gotten too drunk on the funny bus?
Yes. There's a couple things my boss doesn't want me saying, but I don't think he's gonna listen. So I mean, if he does, oh well. Some woman
saying on here.
Yeah,
we can cut it if you want. Like, this won't come out for like another month. So if like later on you're like cut that out.
I don't think it matters. No, people get wasted. There was this one woman with Lou Gehrig's disease. I didn't know she.
I once worked with a woman with that.
I didn't know what I've obviously heard Lou Gehrig's disease. I'm a big baseball fan. Like I've heard of Lou Gehrig's.
Yeah, I've heard of Lou Gehrig's. I've read a medical book or two. You heard of the baseball encyclopedia?
Former All-Star Lou Gehrig. Yeah. That sounded. Sorry, when I said that, I was like, "Oh, that sounds ridiculous."
Famous medical museum, Cooperstown.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend, Lou Gehrig. She had Lou Gehrig's disease. I didn't realize it till after. And I was just treating her. She was just like an older woman, with like her daughters, and I made her laugh really hard. And then she like low key peed, like on the seat, so I had to scrub it and everything. But I didn't know she had Lou Gehrig's.
Like a full.
Oh, she didn't even know she peed because she stood up. I saw her stand up momentarily, and like I didn't see a spot.
Yeah.
And then I saw her like kind of face just like kind of like wander, like when someone questions things, and like you feel like they're high in public.
These feel different.
Yeah, she did that, and then she just went, and then I started making her die laughing because I started messing with her.
Yeah.
And then the tour ended, and then she got up, and there was a big wet spot. She wasn't drinking alcohol, so I was like, "Oh, this lady peed the bus," and I wasn't mad at her because I mean she was an older woman with Lou Gehrig's. Just when the bus driver told me at the end, he's like, "By the way, she has Lou Gehrig's disease." I'm like, thanks. Like that doesn't do anything. I just made some woman laugh her ass off.
Is Lou Gehrig gonna rise from his grave and scrub this piss off the seat?
No, he's not. I got to do that. I wasn't mad. I wouldn't have cared, but I think it was good because I was like, hey, I'm so happy you didn't tell me that when the tour started.
Sure.
Because I wouldn't, it's not that I would have treated her differently. I wouldn't have been, like, because I was messing with her the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, oh, yeah. Because at one point she started mumbling, like a nursery rhyme to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, bitch, what are you on? And then everyone's laughing.
Yeah.
Low key, she just had Lou Gehrig's disease and was just trying to have a day out and peed her pants.
And guess what? She had a Listen, if I go out and I end up pissing my pants, probably had a pretty good time.
Mm-hmm. Especially of laughing when you're not drunk.
Yeah, definitely.
I met
had
a
good
sober
time.
woman with Lou Gehrig's disease piss her pants on the bus. I was so happy. And the bus driver was like, "Oh, she peed. I feel so bad for you." I was like, "I don't care." I made this woman pee her pants because she was laughing so
piss
hard.
is easily the easiest body fluid to clean.
It's cleaner than honestly. Cleaning piss is easier than cleaning like a glass of wine.
Oh yeah, glass of wine, cum,
More
blood, sweat. Even sweat salty like ruins things.
Yeah,
Piss is just like, scrub it up.
especially if you eat healthy.
ShamWow it.
Just ShamWow this ring stain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's I forgot what the question was.
Did anybody ever get too drunk on the funny bus?
Oh,
We
no,
were
she
talking
didn't
about
get drunk.
People drunkenly confiding.
Oh, dude, I had a woman with I've had so many women try to kiss me in the mouth.
Really?
It does make me feel better about my looks sometimes because sometimes I get insecure. I'm like, oh, I'm getting bigger, I'm getting older.
Well,
but then
those two things go together. It happens to everybody,
especially when you don't exercise.
especially when you don't exercise. Well, at least you know that.
I know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not in bad shape. I would just
No.
my body kind of looks like Alex Jones, like on like a really good day.
Oh, dude, don't
sometimes.
say that about yourself. It's not true.
I'm working on it. My Alex Jones bod instead of dad bod. AJ bod.
Dude, Alex Jones is the meme where it's like before and after, but it's the same exact picture of Alex Jones.
That's what I'm thinking about. Like, so, on a bad day, I'm like, man, I look like Alex fucking
No,
Jones.
dude, you're way better looking than Alex Jones.
Appreciate that. I'm saying body.
That's not a huge compliment.
It's not
by any means.
I'm saying the body figure though.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Okay, I have better body than Alex Jones.
Yeah,
Women should love this podcast. This is equality right here.
Oh,
men talking about our bodies, dude.
We are an equal opportunity podcast, without a doubt.
Us cool cisgender males, us.
Yeah, two white guys can have a couple brews,
Talk about our bodies.
talk about some fucking Jews,
Flossing
and cleaning up cum.
and piss and shit. People get drunk. I had a half a bus like last year, and they started a "Let's Go Brandon" chant.
That's awesome.
And then I started playing "Highway to Hell" by AC/DC, and this one drunk dude in the back, like, I thought he was about to like call me a libtard. Like he was happy, but he was just yelling shit out.
Yeah,
he was drunk. And I thought he was just going to start yelling out every bad thing. But it's weird because he seemed like a very fun, nice person.
Oh.
Like he was that like old white guy that was like, hey, what's up, motherfucker?
Dude.
But then like you hear like words that come out of his mouth and you're like, oh man, if that guy was on Twitter a lot, he'd lose his job.
Yeah, dude, the conservatives are so much fun to party with.
Yeah.
They know how to have a good time because it's the only thing they've ever had to do.
But then there's always one little thing that I'm like, ooh, you said that. You shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, sure.
Someone's just trying to walk across the street. Why did you say that?
Sir, that's not part of the tour.
No.
I don't have any jokes for that.
Yeah, someone the one dude, like some like bigger woman was walking on the street, and this is when he started getting drunk because we have like a halfway point. And he was like, that bitch is pregnant outside. And she went, oh. And I was like, I'm so sorry. This guy's an asshole. I said it on the mic. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I said, I was like, dude, that's
But
so
I bet
rude.
people laughed at that.
Oh, yeah.
This
People
guy's an
loved
asshole,
him.
yeah.
He was the life of the party back there. It was
Do you
hilarious.
I mean, do you often? I feel like you probably often get a little sidekick on the tours.
Yeah, people try to. And I kind of shut them down sometimes. If
Sure.
they are funnier than me, I'll be like, hey, you want the microphone? They're like, no. I'm like, yep, this is a hard fucking job.
True.
Like sometimes I just say it just to, but I want people to have fun. But there is a point when you let one person talk for too long, they'll just feel so comfortable. They'll start rambling to you. And then you have to shut them up.
Yeah.
It's like doing stand up.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to have a personal conversation with somebody when a whole group of people wants to be in on the conversation.
Right. Well, it's not because like the whole point of the tour is to hear you give the tour. It's a verbal tour. It's not like a sightseeing tour. Because like if you take a tour in like another city and it's like a sightseeing tour, it's really easy to have a one-on-one with the tour guide because for 80% of the trip they're not saying anything.
They're just kind of keeping check and everything.
Right. So you have the conversation. But yeah.
Well, this tour is different. It's not just me talking. Like I talk a lot, but also like I like playing music. And
It's
I
a
like
party
I
bus.
fuck up. Yeah, it's a party bus kind of. It's a party comedy bus with there's everything on it kind of. Like there are spots where I like There's spots where I'll give you a bunch of facts that you didn't know with jokes. There's other times where if people are partying, I'm not going to stop. Like I will, I don't just party nonstop.
Yeah.
Like I will have party people, but I like try to pace it.
You're not going to turn off Sweet Caroline during the chorus.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
I'm going to live the song up. People enjoy the song. I try to let people enjoy the experience of me telling jokes, me playing music, me messing with people on the street, and me showing them nice spots and telling them facts.
Yeah.
I try to merge that all like separately together on one tour.
And I bet you get better every single tour.
Depending on the crowd, yeah. Sometimes I have shitty crowds, but that's like any like sometimes.
Hey, bro. As comedians, there's no such thing as a bad crowd.
Bullshit.
There's no such thing as a bad crowd. You have to be able to kill 100% of the time.
Try doing jokes.
Nobody ever bombs ever unless they're bad.
There are bad crowds. It's how you deal with bad crowds is what defines you.
Sure. Perfect.
Right?
I'll sign up. I'll sign to that.
You could have a good set. You could work your ass off and have a really good set from a bad crowd, and that's okay. You could.
But also the definition of a good set is different.
Yeah, it's not the same as killing in front of a good audience.
Right.
You could kill in front of a bad. I still need to learn that difference all the time. Like I'm like, man, I didn't like that crowd. I fucking sucked. And people be like, no, dude, you did fine. And I'm like, no, I fucking sucked, man. Nothing was hitting. They're like, no, you were fine. The audience was weird, and they liked you.
Your jokes are still good,
and you were still funny.
But sometimes for me, like if I got a joke that's like 3 or 4 parts, the delivery of part 3 very much depends on how part 1 and 2 were received.
Yeah.
You got to, like 3 very much depends on the wave. And if I can ride the wave to 3, part 3 and 4, oh, it'll murder. But if like part 2 is a little hiccup,
ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I love about stand-up? It's the fact that anything can happen. I love that. Like even with the performers, like we both like I pretty much hang around comics a lot. Like we know like I've seen really good writers bomb on their writing. You know, but at the same time at a different show, I've seen that really good writer kill at performing when they're not known as a performer. I'm like, whoa, that's cool to see. And also I'll see really good performers I'll see them perform well, not really have the best jokes, but then I'll see that really good performer have like 3 good jokes in a row. I'm like, okay, this is fun.
Like a few gems.
I love when people I love watching like people develop.
Yeah,
and, I love watching people fail, but I only like watching them fail because I like watching them grow.
Yeah, and then and then those things get better over time, and then they're a great writer and a great performer.
Yeah, like I don't like when someone feels like shit after a bad set, but I like the next set I see them on.
Yeah,
because they either sink or swim. Yeah, because how many times do you want to quit comedy? I've wanted to quit like 4 times in my head, but I'm like, oh, I love it too much. It's like the yin and yang of it, right? Yeah,
that whole like the philosophy of like you don't want someone to feel bad after a bad set. That's why if I think I'm about to have a bad set, I make it as bad as possible.
If I'm gonna bomb, I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want.
You've seen me do it. I'll make it. Yeah. I'm going out on my own terms, dude. I'm not gonna beg for their approval. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna abandon the jokes, spit my manifesto, and then leave.
This is what inspired Lady Gaga to write the song "Edge of Glory." I'm glory, and you're like, anyways, my asshole's bleeding.
And that is the floss. Do plugs. Plug your shit. Do a nice clean plug.
So, I do the funny bus. It's not what defines me, but I like doing it. It's lately on a weekend.
Oh, it's a good pregame.
When I don't have shows.
Very family friendly.
Yeah.
It is family friendly.
Well, you need to be 21 or older for the most part. Maybe a couple 18-year-olds.
Oh, I'm talking parents and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, bring your parents. There's not much.
Don't bring your kids if they're like.
But it's a good fucking time. You little pregame. What time do the tours usually go?
For right now, I mean, when this comes out, we probably might have 2 Friday tours, but usually there's one at 6. The normal one's at 6. There might be one at 4 or 8 added on by the time this comes out. But Saturday is usually 2 to 3 tours, either 2, 4, and 6. 2:30, 4:30, 6:30. On Sunday, there's usually like a 2:30, 4:30.
Those are perfectly timed. You get lunch and a few drinks in beforehand, brunch, or you get dinner after. Where do you usually pick people up?
Collision Bend on the flats. Like
I
right by
was
the
just
Odeon.
there for the first time last week.
Place is cool as fuck.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And it was only people outside, but great patio. What else you got going on?
So we got our I run that Secret Society show, which you've been to. Be a different location every week. It's on Eventbrite. So you buy tickets through Eventbrite. It's usually $10 online, $15 at the door. Just to go to Eventbrite in Cleveland, Secret Society comedy. And again, there's one every Saturday, so it's date heavy. So like if you want to go to the one on like June, whatever. You got to make sure the date's right, but it says the date right on there. So
if you go to secretsocietycomedy.com, it'll take you to the Eventbrite page.
We and Jeremy run it with David Horning.
Yep, David Horning's had an episode, has been on the Floss, and Jeremy, our beautiful producer, also produces that show. What else you got? Anything else?
Well, again, when this is coming out, I got a lot of. I'm getting booked a lot on a lot of shows, so I do have a lot of shows coming up. You probably just have to follow me on Instagram at the Bryan Sternik or Twitter at the Bryan Sternik. I also have my own podcast, the Guiltless Podcast. I haven't been on it too much recently because I've been really busy, but me and my buddy Joe, he started it. I co-hosted with him. I've been co-hosting with him for a couple years. It's been getting since I got on there. No disrespect to Joe. It was him and his coworker buddy, and they had a good podcast. But his coworker left for personal reasons. And I was like, I want to do a podcast, but I want to make it my own. Let's get cool fucking guests on. So then, we got some cool people on. And
good name.
It's been getting better.
Good name. You got a good studio, and I'd say very prolific podcast in the
Guiltless?
Cleveland area. Yeah,
It is. It's very nice. I never thought I'd be interviewing fucking Cleveland bartenders about the struggles of bartending, but it gets interesting.
It's
sometimes.
interesting. I've listened to a couple episodes.
It gets interesting.